Hello there, and you are watching a Let's Play of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, developed by BioWare and published by LucasArts. This is a modded playthrough which utilises the originally cut difficulty setting Impossible Difficulty. Because Knights of the Old Republic has adaptable difficulty settings where the player can modify the difficulty setting whenever they want to, it is very difficult to prove that I am always playing on impossible difficulty. However, I would like to assure all of my viewers that the game has been played on impossible difficulty, and there will be infrequent reminders occasionally throughout the Let's Play to prove this. Hello people of the internet, this is Shaky Jake, and I really need a catchphrase. Before I carry on with the game, I just want to quickly explain a few things about the Knights of the Old Republic Restoration mod. As I was saying in the last part, I believe I was mentioning about a cut section of the Black Vulca base. Now that is true, and in the version of the mod I've downloaded it is meant to be in here, but for whatever reason, playing through the game again, it hasn't shown up, and there's only two places it could have possibly been at. The first is here where the armory was, and on some of the videos I was watching online, this is where the warp point to the cut part of the Black Vulca base was. And then the only other place I can think of it being at, if it was available, was this door down here. But again, this door's just a placeholder. There's nothing actually here. You can't interact with it or anything. So there's logically only two places that the cut sub-level could be at, but for whatever reason it hasn't shown up in my Knights of the Old Republic Restoration mod that I've downloaded from Nexus Mods. So if anyone can kind of give me a few pointers as to why it didn't show up, I would appreciate that. Otherwise I'm not too bothered. I've got through the Black Vulca base without too many difficulties and too many problems, and I've read some people having mixed experiences with the cut Black Vulca base sub-level anyway, in the sense that sometimes it makes their game impossible to carry on with, it's impossible to beat, mixed to negative responses alongside the positives. But for now I'm just pleased I've got through the Black Vulca base. But if anyone does want to give me a bit of advice as to why the cut Black Vulca sub-level didn't show up in my version of the mod, even though it should have done, and the link to the mod is in the description box as well, so I don't know why it didn't show up in my version. But anyway, I'm going to carry on with the main game now, so I've just thrown this in here just to let you all know basically. And back to the main game, where we've left the Black Vulca base, and now we're going to return to Gadon Feck. Oh man, I can't get my names right today. We're going to return to Gadon and return the prototype to him. I was going to say the full name then, but there's little to no point. Oh, the door just shut on me randomly. How fun, and also how rude. So we're going to return this to Gadon, and we can hopefully rescue Bastila.
You have returned. You have the prototype Swoop engine accelerator with you?
That's exactly what I was going to say, the prototype Swoop engine accelerator. I have the accelerator right here.
I was beginning to wonder if you would make it. The race is tomorrow, and my mechanics need time to install the prototype into the Swoop engine of our bike.
Okay, I lived up to my end of the deal. Now you better come through.
Don't worry. I'm a man of my word. I promised you could ride in the Swoop race under the Hidden Beck banner, and I'm still going to let you do that. And I'm even going to go one better. I'm going to let you ride the Swoop bike with the prototype accelerator installed on it. Without it, you won't stand a chance.
Gadon, you can't be serious. We need one of our best riders on that bike. We can't let some rookie take the prototype engine into the race.
Why are you doing this, Gadon?
I have to be honest with you. There's a reason I'm letting you take the prototype engine. The accelerator isn't stable. There's a good chance it could explode during the race. I can't ask one of my own riders to take the risk. They'll be running unmodified swoops in the race. You'll be the only one using the prototype. If you can complete the track before the accelerator overheats, then you'll win for the Bex. If you die, then one of my other riders could still come through for me.
Sounds like you got all your bases covered.
You don't get to be leader of a swoop gang if you don't know how to work all the angles.
Suddenly, I'm not so sure about this.
Without that prototype, you don't stand a chance of winning. And if you don't win, you can't get Bastila back. None of the other riders will give her up. This is your only chance.
Do they... I'm sorry, do they seriously think they could keep Bastila captive? She is a Jedi. I mean, come on. Okay, I'm ready for the race. Even though I still think you've got all your bases covered more than my own interests. But anyway.
You can stay here tonight. The mechanics need time to install the accelerator on the engine, so you won't be able to practice your riding. But I've got good instincts. And you have the look of a racer about you. Just try to relax, and in the morning we'll take you to the swoop track.
And then it says you spend a restless night in the Beck base. So yeah, not exactly a relaxing game. And my character model apparently kind of froze there, from what I could tell. Interesting. Sure, tell me how it's done. Okay, let's start the race. I don't want you to explain the rules to me. I won't let you down. Okay, so this would normally be our first encounter with the Swoop track. However, I have actually been here before thanks to the restoration mod, so it's weird coming here for a second time in this current playthrough. So who are these guys? I think these are the hidden bet racers. Yep, those are the hidden bet racers, and then these two are probably the Black Volkers.
Rundi Haudonga Kuhungabi. Donghai Tuam Gigi Yumalithpa.
I'm getting flashbacks to Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace here. Everyone thought Anakin couldn't win, and then he just happened to win. Bastila we can't talk to because I think she had a bit of an exciting night last night and got a little bit drunk. Who knows? Let's try and get this over with. So we've got a bias judge here. What's the time to beat? 38 seconds, that's pretty poor. What happened to the rider you lost? I want to race one of my heats. Now, Swoop racing can be a pain in the arse sometimes. Ooh, this is new.
It's Zerdra here. I hope you're reading me. Your swoop run is about to begin. Remember, just hold on tight. Try not to smash into anything. The prototype accelerator should last about 60 seconds before it overheats and explodes. That should be enough time for you to finish your run. Good luck. The Becks are counting on you.
That cutscene is new, and oh no. Okay, I better do this quick if it's going to explode. So this is a mini game that exists in Knights of the Old Republic 1. It's actually not too bad. I do have fun with this, and you can do this a few times throughout the game. We can do this on 2 other planets, and essentially you just have to avoid obstacles, try and hit as many speed pads as possible. You go progressively faster every time you boost, and there we go, 25 seconds and 53 milliseconds, not too bad. And I knew that was going to happen. Every time you win for the first time in the race, Red Ross always overtakes your record. Or if you're racing for the Black Volkers, I believe it's this guy here. Or maybe it's her, I can't remember. Again, I never really race for the Black Volkers very often. But anyway, let's try that again. So what's the time to beat now? Oh, he literally beat me by 30 seconds or so. This might be difficult. Because again, I think the game scales it based on how well you do. So you could, in theory, do poorly and Red Ross would have a score that's easier to beat. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But anyway, let's try that again. Do I get another cutscene? No, okay. It's pretty cool how that cutscene was added back in though. It's a bit pointless, but it feels like a deleted scene for a film, so that's fine. Let's try and hit all the speed pads we can. I'm not quite sure why I'm talking as I'm doing this, because this requires concentration at the highest level. This is harder than actual driving in real life. I mean, what would this be like? Driving on the motorway at 90 miles per hour? But we're done anyway. We beat his record. That was easier than I was expecting it to be. And this guy's got short-term memory loss because he's saying the exact same thing again. Thank you, thank you.
People, hear me! Before I present the so-called champion of the Becks with their prize, there is something you must know. The winning rider cheated!
You better not be trying to cheat me, Brejak.
Your Swoop bike was using a prototype accelerator. Clearly an unfair advantage. Because of this hidden Beck treachery, I'm withdrawing the Vulca's share of the victory prize. You old fool. Your traditions are nothing to me. I am the wave of the future. If I want to withdraw the prize and sell this woman on the slave market myself, nobody can stop me.
I might have something to say about that, Brejak.
Yeah, the slave market really isn't doing very well at the moment, so better not sell me.
What? Impossible. You were restrained by a neural disruptor. How could you have possibly summoned the will to free yourself?
You underestimate the strength of a Jedi's mind, Brejak. A mistake you won't live to regret.
Vulcus, to me! Kill this woman! Kill the Swoop Rider! Kill them all!
How did she break free, Brejak? A little thing called magic. Or the Force. Whatever you prefer. Now, I'm not expecting to do well here, so I'm going to save. I've also put a shield on whilst I was in the pause menu, and I've also equipped the Sith energy shield because the one energy shield ran out, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to run and hope I don't die. I don't want I'm attacking Brejak first. Yeah, let's just join in with Bastila. Bastila knows what she's doing. Yeah, Bastila, you can handle this, I think. Frag grenade, because that won't hurt Bastila in any way. Just keep throwing frag grenades. And then deal with you. Preferably without missing. And Brejak is dead. Awesome. That actually went better than I thought. So, was there a little bit of a visual glitch then? I'll have to rewatch that. It felt like there was a visual glitch. But interestingly, I did notice a glitch on one of the earlier parts, and I saw a floating NPC when I was rewatching it on editing. By the time this is uploaded, I will have commented on it, but I thought it was amusing when I looked back on it. I don't know how I didn't notice it when I originally played through, but anyway. The game forces you to pick up Brejak's remains here, or maybe it doesn't, because I think Bastila picks it up either way, but I'm going to pick it up because it's our first encounter with a lightsaber, which is cool. So get the items and then let's talk to Bastila once I've saved.
Well, maybe those bloody Vulkars will think twice next time before trying to keep a Jedi prisoner. And as for you, if you think you can collect me as a prize... Wait, I don't believe this. You're one of the soldiers with the Republic fleet, aren't you? Yes, I'm sure of it. How did you end up racing for these swoop gangs?
Plot reasons. The plot demanded that I race. Oh, go on then. Let's ape the original Star Wars. My name's Red Varnath. I'm here to save you.
Save me? Is that what you were trying to accomplish by riding in that swoop race? Well, as far as rescues go, this is a pretty poor example. In case you hadn't noticed, I managed to free myself from that neural restraint collar without your help. In fact, it's more accurate to say that I saved you. Brejik and his Vulkars would have left you for dead if I hadn't stepped into that fight. You're lucky I was here to get you out of this mess.
Oh, stop being ungrateful. I mean, you did technically save me because, you know, I let you deal with Brejik for the most part and the other Vulkars, but just say thank you. I think you've got things confused. You were a helpless prisoner until I came along.
I may have been a prisoner, but a Jedi is never helpless. Maybe you've heard of a little thing called the Force? But I suppose I shouldn't be too hard on you. You did try to save me after all, even if it didn't go quite as planned. So let's get down to business. We're not out of danger yet. If I'm going to figure out a way for us to get off this planet, I need to know what kind of resources we can draw on. First, are we the only two survivors left from the Ender Spire?
Hey, you said you were in charge here.
The Republic, for one. I was a fleet commander, remember? But I don't want you getting all worked up over nothing. So tell me, do you have a plan to get off this planet?
Karth and I are already working on a plan to get off Taris.
Karth Onasi is alive. Finally, some good news. Karth is one of the Republic's best soldiers. He's proved himself a hero a dozen times over. And he sent you here to save me. Maybe I misjudged you. Karth wouldn't have sent you if he wasn't confident in your abilities. Forgive me. Despite my Jedi training, I still tend to act a bit rashly sometimes. Please, take me to Karth right away. Between the three of us, I'm sure we can figure out some way to get off this planet before the Sith realize we're here.
No, find your own way back.
You cannot win, Revan.
Bastila, you're alive! Finally, things are looking up. Now we just need to figure out a way to get off this planet.
You mean you don't have a plan to get off Taris yet? What have you been doing all this time?
Karth, I did kind of tell her we did have a plan for getting off Taris. You've just completely blown my cover. We were trying to find you, remember?
I see. Now that I'm back in charge of this mission, perhaps we can start doing things properly. Hopefully our escape from Taris will go more smoothly than when you rescued me from Brejik.
I know you're new at this, Bastila, but a leader doesn't berate her troops just because things aren't going as planned. Don't let your ego get in the way of the real issues here.
That hardly strikes me as an appropriate way of addressing your commander, Karth. I am a member of the Jedi Order, and this is my mission. Don't forget that. My battle meditation ability has helped the Republic many times in this war, and it will serve us well here, I am sure.
Your talents might win us a few battles, but that doesn't make you a good leader. A good leader would at least listen to the advice of those who have seen more combat than she ever will.
See, I used to not side with anyone in this discussion, but the older I've gotten, the more I've realised that Karth is absolutely spot on there. Karth might be whiny and annoying at times, but he does know what to say at times, and this is one of those instances, so he's right. You aren't showing much leadership ability right now, Bastila.
You know, I had my doubts about this mission, but I figured the Jedi Council wouldn't put you in charge if you weren't prepared. But here you are, acting like a spoiled child.
I see. It's true that I don't have much military experience. Perhaps I should not be so quick to judge. Very well, Karth. What do you suggest we do?
First off, we can't get hung up on who's in charge. We all need to work together if we want to get off this rock. The answer is out there, we just have to find it.
Well said, Koth. And the sooner we start looking, the better. I've already been a prisoner of the Vulkars, and I don't plan on being captured by the Sith.
Don't worry, I won't let that happen.
I think we'll need some help getting off Terrace. Maybe if we ask around, one of the locals can help us out. We should probably start by asking around in the cantinas. Is something wrong? You seem as if something's troubling you.
Yeah, you're telling me to go back to the cantina. That's where the janitor kept telling me to go, and he was trying to get me drunk, and I really didn't want to go back there again, but maybe I need to because I've got dueling arena opponents to still beat up. Something weird happened when we first met. Like a vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
You, basically, because my character's a bit of a pervert. Of you, fighting a dark Jedi. Revan, I guess.
This is... it's strange. Such visions are often a sign of Force sensitivity.
Are you saying I can use the Force?
I'm not sure. It may be that you have some connection to the Force. It would not be unheard of. When we first met, your natural talent may have fed off my own Force abilities. It is possible that in the excitement of the battle's aftermath, the Force allowed you to witness one of my more intense memories.
So does this mean I could be a Jedi?
The Force is complicated. Even I, with all my training, cannot fully understand it yet. This is a matter best left to the wise masters of the Jedi Council. Once we escape Terrace, we can seek the guidance of the Council if you wish. They will understand the significance of your vision, if there is any. However, I think it would be best if we all stayed focused on the task at hand right now. We can't afford any distractions. We need to find a way off Terrace.
And that's fair enough. So, we've got Bastila as a party member now, and Bastila is our first Jedi party member of the game. Very strong, very good. So Mission and Zalbar kind of become redundant here, for the most part, but we will still be using them at times. And we can upgrade lightsabers now, and change the colour of the lightsaber, and we can add crystals to upgrade it. However, we don't have anything, so this is essentially redundant for now. But let's actually let's double check the foot locker just to see if there is anything. No, doesn't respawn. Okay, I'm gonna double check with our party members before I go out just to see if we've got anything to talk about. So let's start with Zalbar. Do you know anything about the planet we're on? I wonder if you could help me with a problem. I want to know a little more about you, Zalbar. You don't trust me? You'll have to tell me more eventually. Maybe we'll talk later. Essentially, Zalbar, you can't do much with in the way of conversations until later on in the game, so there's no point talking to him again now. Mission, do you have anything to say?
Hey there, what can I do for you?
I want to know a little more about you, Mission.
Really? You want to know about me? Nobody's ever really been interested in me before. What do you want to know?
How did you and Zalbar hook up?
Big Z's my family, you know? My parents, well, I guess they're dead. It was just me on my own until the day I saw Zalbar in the lower city. I could tell right away he was in trouble. This was before the gang wars were out of hand. But even then, the Vulkars were scum. A few of them were hassling Big Z, trying to pick a fight, but he wasn't looking for trouble.
Who'd want to pick a fight with a Wookiee? That sounds stupid.
Hey, nobody said the Vulkars were smart, but there were 3 of them. So maybe they figured they could handle him. I don't know. Anyway, I don't like the Vulkars at the best of times. And when I saw them picking on this poor Wookiee, all alone on a strange planet, overwhelmed by the big city, I just lost it. I screamed out, "Leave him alone, you core slimes!" and charged right at them. Well, one of them saw me coming and slapped me so hard he just about knocked me cold.
You're lucky he didn't fry you with a blaster.
Hey, I don't need a lecture from you. You ain't my mother. I knew what I was doing. Those Vulkars didn't scare me. They're nothing but
Father,
cowards.
come on.
I knew how to deal with them. Of course, I never got the chance. I guess Zalbar didn't like seeing me get smacked around. He let out this howl and yanked that Volker a meter up off the ground and held him there by his throat.
What did the other two Volkers do?
The other two screamed and ran off. Can't say I blame them. The first time you see an angry Wookiee up close, it isn't a pretty sight. I thought Zalbar was gonna rip that punk's arms off and beat him to death with his own fists. The Volker was so scared, he fainted. Or maybe it was Big Z's breath just knocked him out. I keep telling Zalbar to brush those choppers of his, but he never listens. Just stay upwind when he's speaking and you'll be fine. Anyway, I knew those Volkers would be back with friends, so I grabbed Zalbar and we took off. Ever since then, we've been a team. We look out for each other, you know?
How did Zalbar end up on Taris?
He was fleeing some kind of trouble back on Kashyyyk. That's all I know, really. Big Z doesn't like to talk about it. In case you didn't notice, he's the strong, silent type. Doesn't much matter to me, though. I accept him for what he is, not what he was. Me and Zalbar like to live in the present.
How did you survive before you met Zalbar?
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? You think I can't take care of myself? I've got street smarts. I know how to get by on my own. In fact, I look out for Zalbar more than he looks out for me, you know? Big Z's a little bit too gullible to make it alone on the mean streets of the lower city.
I can agree with that, only because Mission is quite mature for her age, although that might be because Twi'leks at age 14 are probably more mature than humans are at 14, but anyway, we should get back to the task at hand.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Like I used to tell my brother, fast talk and slick words don't get the job done.
I didn't know you had a brother.
My brother's a touchy subject, you know. It just so happens I don't really feel like talking about him right now. Nothing personal. Let's just get back to the business at hand, okay?
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Mission's brother is going to be part of Mission's side quest later on, so keep that in mind. Let's talk to Bastila.
How can I help?
You want to talk to me about something?
I would like to know what happened after you crashed on Taris. I'm curious as to what you and Karth were doing before we all joined forces.
Well, you could watch all the previous videos I've uploaded. That pretty much details our chronicles of trying to find you, but I'll just give you the summarised version. Before we rescued you mean?
I managed to free myself, as I recall. In fact, if I hadn't been there, Brejik and his thugs might have killed you in that fight. It's probably more accurate to say that I rescued you.
You didn't escape the Black Volkers until we arrived, as I recall.
I'll admit that I probably wouldn't have been able to free myself if not for the brawl after the Swoop race. I guess I should thank you for that, at least. Actually, your presence at the Swoop track is what I'm curious about. It couldn't have been an easy task to find me there, yet somehow you managed. You also avoided detection by the Sith, discovered I was a Vulcar prisoner, gained sponsorship for the race, and became the Taris Swoop champion. That's quite a resume.
Yeah, it hasn't really got me any jobs, though. I had a lot of help. Karth, Mission, Zalbar.
Your modesty is admirable. But though others helped, you were the catalyst for these events. When you were chosen to join this mission, I doubt any of us expected this much from you. A Jedi could have done such things, of course, but only by drawing heavily upon the Force.
Or using cheat codes. I think you're underestimating us non-Jedi.
Perhaps, but the Force works through all of us to some degree or another. There are some individuals outside the Jedi Order that we consider Force-sensitive. It's obvious to me that the Force has been working through you. There is no other explanation for your great success, though I'm not certain what to make of this discovery. Perhaps if you weren't... well, if you were younger, the Jedi might take you for training. But as it is...
Be glad I'm Force sensitive, or I couldn't have rescued you.
Ah, yes, the rescue again. Very well, for what it's worth, I concede the point to you. You rescued me from Brejik, and yet we're still stuck here on Taris. Hopefully, between your abilities, my Jedi training, and the skills of our companions, we can find a way off this planet.
Off this planet. I mean, I'm British, so I can't really take the mick, but there's certain pronunciations that Bastila has that still make me laugh to this day. Anyway, Karth, are you going to talk a bit more?
Yes, what's on your mind?
I just want to talk with you.
Oh, you want to argue some more, is that it?
I'm always up for a good fight.
So I've seen. If I were Malik, I'd be a bit nervous to have you on my tail. I just don't trust easily. And for good reasons, which are my own.
But we have to work together, Carl, so it has plenty to do with me.
Oh, damn it. I suppose I won't get any rest until I talk, will I? You want to know why I don't trust anyone? Fine. Here goes. 5 years ago, the Jedi had just finished the war with the Mandalorians. Revan and Malik were heroes. I was damn proud to have served in their fleet. It was completely unexpected when they turned on us, invading the Republic while we were still weak. Nobody knew what to think, least of all me. Our heroes had become brutal, conquering Sith, and we were all but helpless before them. I mean, think about it. If you can't even trust the best of the Jedi, who can you trust?
I suppose you can't. That must have been hard to take.
No, it wasn't even that. There were others. Good, solid men, trusted men who turned on us as well and joined their cause. Malik and Revan and the Sith deserve to die for what they've done, but the ones who fled the Republic and joined them are even worse. The dark side has nothing to do with why they joined with the Sith. They deserve no mercy.
You say that with such hatred.
I know. And I should apologize to you. I've become so accustomed to expecting the worst in others, and you've done nothing to deserve that. It's just... Oh, never mind. Let's just continue with what we were doing. I'd rather not talk about it.
And we've talked to everyone in here, so I think I'm going to leave it there for now, because it's been quite an action-packed episode, and we've had quite a bit of talking to do. So, in the next episode, we'll leave the hideout and try and find a way off Taris. And also probably try out the Taris dueling scene again, see if I can actually beat it on impossible difficulty. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.